I'm definitely gonna use that because I normally I'm like I've heard people say visualize, and I never really I was like, what do you mean by visualize? And I think the way you explain it to me now, I understand, and I think I'm definitely gonna use that for my games as well.
Mhm.
Thank you. So next thing I wanted to talk about is you said you were on the top and you went to a good college and you played high level there. So other youth athletes who want to play at the college level or or just trying out for another team when they have the pressure of like a college coach watching them or like just another high level coach watching them, what's the best way for them to eliminate the pressure like before that really high pressure game that they're about to play in front of all these top people, like what's the best way to eliminate that pressure?
So when you're by yourself working on your own game, you're thinking about your shot, right? You're not necessarily thinking about, you don't have any distractions. And so now you have someone watching you. So now when you're playing, you're thinking about that distraction. You're no longer thinking about what you have to do in that moment. And so just have to, that just kind of comes from training. A little bit goes back to mentally preparing, maybe like when you're visualizing maybe you're picturing a crowd, you're picturing someone's watching. I'll say this: before I used to get nervous when girls would watch my games, especially I'd look up and I'd see a crush, and then that kind of got me like a little nervous. But then kind of throughout the years, quite honestly, actually, I would start picturing my crush pulling up to the gym. Like, I'll be working out, and then I'd kind of just imagine, oh, imagine if she walked in, what would I, would my game change? Would I do something crazy? And just after kind of going through it a few times, like I'm a little bit older now, I've dated a handful of people, different people, so I've kind of been through that scenario and then kind of been through several scenarios where college coaches would show up, maybe family would show up, right? And so after kind of going through it a couple times, right, the next time it comes around, you're thinking, okay, I've already been through this. All right, now I just gotta focus on what I have to do, kind of like what we talked about, just be once again in the moment. And you're focusing on the goal in front of you, right? The ball in your feet or in front of you. And the second you think about that outside distraction is when you'll make that mistake. So it goes back to training, right? It's just you by yourself and the ball, and you just have to relive that and just ever be present. And just they always talk about, oh, be locked in, right? Be locked in, be focused. But it's really, you're almost just really talking to yourself. Just, okay, just do it's always a constant monologue, kind of like between yourself. It's like, all right, right now, yeah, there might be someone watching, but you have to hit that shot, right? You're not looking at them, you're looking your eye on the target, your eyes on the goal. And so but it does help after being in that scenario a couple times. I used to be a very bad speaker in public, very bad, really shy actually. But after a couple times of doing it, um you just really have to just put yourself out there. And so, for instance, I used to be a very shy person. I just started talking to more people. I couldn't speak in public. Well, any chance I got to speak in front of people, I did it. And so, when a college coach were to show up to your game, right, perhaps you already visualized it, right? If you're a good athlete, they might show up more than once. And so, the very first time, it is a bit nerve wracking. But if you can add that in the mix to the visualization and your preparation, know what's going to be there, but also know you have to stay right in the moment. Yeah.
Awesome. So like the last thing I wanted to talk about is your program. So I want to kind of include your program in it because I know like
Mhm.
from my friends and I've heard that you have a really amazing program. How does your program help youth athletes to develop to be good basketball players?
So the name of my program is ICANN Player Development, and I took the first um, two words of I can do all things. It's kind of very prevalent in Steph Curry's brand. And so I took the first two words, I can, and kind of just made that into like one word. I want to come up with a name that just empowers people, right? When I came down with a cardiac arrest, I was told that I wouldn't be able to play um, basketball again, right? And so I was pretty much told that I can't, do this. After missing two seasons of basketball, I thought that I can't be the same player I was before. Some people are too small and they can't make the team because of their size or perhaps of their skill. And so there's a lot of I can'ts. And quite frankly, if you believe the I can't, then you are correct. You can't. And so I can player development is the vision is to empower athletes or really just anyone who there's people who don't really play basketball but they appreciate what we stand for. And I can is just a program to help revolution transform you know players and athletes lives, not just through a ball, but we all have to go through difficulties, setbacks. I mean, we're all in one right now, but it's what we do right here in the moment. It's kind of like one of the underlying things we just kind of talk about, right? It's so easy to look at injuries that's happened in the past. It's so easy to get stressed out about the future, what's going to happen next month. I don't even know where I'm going to be. Right now I'm trying to look at where I'm going to be in September. I have absolutely no idea. And there's some things that I want to do and I'm not sure if I can do it. And so I can is just a word that I want to help and encourage people that you can do it. It's going to take work. It's there's going to be some nights you won't sleep much, a lot of hours, a lot of hangouts. Well, not a lot of people are hanging out nowadays, but a lot of things you're going to have to pass up. But if you really want it, you can. You can do it. And so that's all we want people to realize. We all have dreams and goals. I was actually trying to figure out mine a couple years ago, but now I have a good idea. And so it's just takes work and takes some sweat, some grit, but if you're willing to do it, you can do it. So
Thank you so much. I just want to say what all you said was so inspiring, especially your name, like the reason behind it. And I think that every name should have a reason behind it. So thank you for that. And everyone who's watching this video, I want you guys to make sure to check them out. You can just plug in your Instagram if you want right now.
okay, yeah, it's at I Can Be Ball.
Yeah, check
So
him out.
yeah.
And he's an amazing basketball trainer. So if anybody, lives in the Bay or is coming and visiting the Bay, make sure to go check him out. Thank you so much for joining
Right
me.
on. Thanks, Rui. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.